What's up, good people? What's up, good people? It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., coming to you on this Think Different Thursday. Y'all know what we do on Thursday. We think differently. We don't think like everybody else on as entrepreneurs. We take our mindset. Our mindset is different. Our approach is different. All of the things that we do are different than everybody else. And that's what Think Different Thursday is about. And y'all know this week what we've been focusing on. What have we been focusing on, y'all? We've been actually focusing on protect your brand. We've been talking about your circle of impact. We've been talking about your I hope y'all can see that. Can you see the decisions that you make? The culture that you create? Today we're going to be talking about the message that you bring. The message that you bring. It's all about branding this week. We're dealing with branding this week, but we're also dealing with protecting your brand and the way in which you are able to protect your brand, or the way that you should go about protecting your brand. So what do I mean with protecting your brand? There's different ways that we talked about that you should go about protecting your brand. And today I want to talk about your message. What is your message? What is the message that you convey to your target market, that you convey to your target audience? And then how do you stay on message? What is it that you want to, or you need to do in order to be able to stay on message? I'm going to give you the definition. This is just one of the definitions of a message, of course, because message could be, you leave a voicemail, somebody that's not there. That's one message. But the message that I'm talking about, here's the definition of it. It's a significant point or central theme, especially one that has political, social, or moral importance. And I'm saying that's what your brand is. Your brand is that significant or central theme. What's the central theme of your brand? What is it that your brand, the messaging that you want people to, at the core, that you want people to know about you, believe in you, understand about you? What's the message that you put out to them? What's the significance or the importance of what it is that you, of the product or service that you offer to people? That's your messaging that you want people to gain from you, that you want people to know, what you want to be known for. We talked yesterday about the culture, but this is the message. What's the message that you want people to gain from you? We know that political campaigns are run all the time, and the messaging is always key to them. It's always, what's the message, what's the theme that you want those followers to come away from. So do you have a message? Do you have a message? Does your brand have a message? Does your brand have a message to it or tied to it? I know with the entrepreneurs, but also with the authors that I talk with and deal with, we always talk about your mission, your message, your movement, and motivation. Those are my 4 M's: mission, message, movement, motivation. What's your mission? What's your message? Is there a movement? And what's your motivation? What's the message that you're sending with your product or service? And you have to develop that. You have to think about what it is that you're trying to say with your product or service. Like I said, with when it comes to being an entrepreneur and a particular product that you have or that you created, why was it that you created that product or service? Every time that somebody buys that product or service from you, what is it that you want them to come away with? What message are you sending them? And every time as an entrepreneur that you find yourself in front of your target audience, as I am with this digital content, I'm in front of my audience. So what's the message? What I always say? My mission, my message every year is to make people better. That's the message that I stick to. I want to make people better. How do I make people better? I make people better by enlightening them and empowering them and impacting them. That's my message. And I have to stay on that message. I stay on that message. I don't want to veer left or veer right from it, because I want people to be focused on that, concentrating on that, and know that that's the messaging that's going to come from me when I talk about what it is that I do, or even the products and services that I have. What's the messaging behind it? You know, when you think about a Disney World or Disney, Mr. Walt Disney, he had a message behind the cartoons that he has, that he created. Google, their company, their message behind, the messaging behind what they do as a company is about being in an environment that is a good working environment. So what message are you sending? What message do you send to your target audience? And is it resonating with them? You want to make sure that that message that you're sending resonates with your audience, and it should resonate with. That's why they're your target market, they're your target audience, because it resonates with them. You offer something or you say something that resonates with people. That was one of the main reasons why Dr. King, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, Medgar Evers, that they were such great leaders, because of their messaging and what they wanted people to believe in. Fred Hampton talking about, you can kill the revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution. That was a message. There's a message behind that. Dr. King, his I Have a Dream speech, powerful speech, and that's the message that he will forever be known for, is his I Have a Dream. And letting us know. And it resonates with all of us. You could still listen to that speech today. You could still listen to that speech the night before he was killed, when he talks about, to the mountaintop speech. I might not get there with you. I've been to the mountaintop and I've seen the promised land. I might not get there with you. That's messaging, letting us know that we still got work to do. Reverend Jesse Jackson, keep hope alive. There's a messaging behind these things that I'm saying to you. What's the message that you're sending to your target market? What do you want them to take from you? You should have a message. You should have a theme, a point to what it is that you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. If you don't, then you're just doing it for the money. And that's, hey, if that's you, that's you. But there's those of us that think differently and want to make sure that we attach a message to what it is that we're doing. So think about it. Do you have a message? What's the message behind your brain? And then stick to that. You can't say you have a message and then you don't even stick to the message. You can't have a message and not stick to the message. You've got to be so in tune to that message that, like I said, everything with the culture, same thing with your message. Everything that you do ties to your messaging, ties to your message. Everything that you talk about, every time that people see you, you're conveying the same message. You're not saying a one message this time, and then you're saying another message the next time. The foundation of what your brand is has a message attached to it. It has character attached to it. What's the messaging that you're sending today? So think about that. Think about the message that you're sending. Think about the message that you want to send. Is your message saying what you wanted to say about your brand, you, your business, and your brand? Does your message have character attached to it? Does your message have integrity attached to it? Does your message have how you treat people attached to it? Think about those successful businesses. Think about those successful people and how they treat people. Does your message connect to what you say, who or what you say your brand is? Because we can give mixed messages. You ever have somebody tell you one thing and then do something totally opposite? Give you mixed messages. Oh, I want this kind of woman, or I want this kind of man, and and if you look at who they chose to be with, you'd be like, that didn't match up with what you said. Or you have a business, an entrepreneur says that, oh, we're about giving quality customer service, but the service that they give is far from quality. They could take it or leave it. Or someone says that they're going to call you back, or let's do business together, let's connect, and then you don't hear anything from them. What's the messaging behind that? What's the messaging behind your words? What's the message that you give to people? Do you follow up? Do you make sure that your product and service is a quality product or service, a quality brand? What's the messaging that you send if you don't do that? What's the messaging if you do that? When you can go to a Marriott hotel and you can get quality customer service, get treated every single time, you know you're going to have quality service. What's the message behind what's instilled in those employees to be able to deliver that to you? Do you have that same kind of messaging when it comes to your business? When people do business with you, they have a certain expectation of you. And when you don't meet or exceed that expectation, what message are you sending? You tell somebody you're going to have something done by a certain time, and then, it doesn't get completed, not because of something happening, but because you just didn't make it a priority to get it done. What's your messaging? Check your messages, y'all. Check your messaging. That's how you protect your brand, where people can depend on the message that you convey to them, and that they know that you're going to be someone who has a clear message, but then also is going to follow that message as well. That's what we do around here. Those of us in this circle of impact who want to have a positive circle of impact. Check your circle of impact and ask them, hey, do you think I'm on message with this? And they should be giving you their honest opinion. Yeah, it ties into what you say you're about. Or no, maybe not quite. It doesn't. Or you're a little to the left, a little to the right. Check it. Ask those that, or ask your clients. Ask your customers. Get that feedback from them. Is this on message? Is this on point? And they will tell. They should tell you. And in that way, you check it and you make sure, hey, I'm doing what I'm saying I'm supposed to be doing. I am fulfilling my clients' and customers' need. I'm right on message. I say I'm not only going to meet their need, I'm going to exceed their expectations. And I stick to that message every single day. No, we're not perfect. None of us are perfect. But you have the meaning and wanting to make sure that your message is on point with your brand. You want to make sure that they tie into each other. Your message and your brand should be connected. You want to make sure of that. That's how you protect your brand. Make sure that your message and your brand are connected. That your message represents your brand and your brand represents your message. That's key. Because people will come to know, hey, yeah, they're right on point with their message and what it is that they're saying and what it is that they're doing. Check any successful brand, and I promise you their message is connected to their brand, and their brand is connected to their message. They're both in alignment with each other. And when you do that, people will go from being customers to being clients. It'll go from being just transactional to being to being loyal customers, to being loyal clients. They'll come back to you again and again and again and again, because they know that the message is behind the brand and the brand is behind the message. It's all about messaging, y'all. It's all about messaging. What does your message say about your brand? What does your message say about you? What does your message say about your business? Are you living up to your message? Are you adhering to your message? Are you doing those things that your message says you're doing? Check it. I told you, we think different on Thursday. This is the mind of an entrepreneur, the entrepreneur mindset, greatness mindset. Here I go again with the sports analogies. When I think about Magic Johnson, he was always about that Showtime message theme that they had back in the 80s. This is what we do. We run, we run, we run, we run, we run. That was his message to his teammates. And he had to adhere to that message because that was who they were. He had to make sure that everything that he talked about to his teammates, everything that they did in practice was about that message. Sticking to that message. So are you on message this week? Have you been on message this week? For these last couple of days of this week, be on message. Think about your message. Think about your theme. And then ask yourself, are you in alignment with it? Does what you do align with what you say that you want to do, you want to be? That's what it is. So if I say that I'm going to be enlighten, empower, and impact people, if that's my message, I've got to stick to that message. I've got to make sure that when I come on this videos, creating these videos, I ask myself that question: does it enlighten, empower, and impact? Because that's my messaging. Do I stick to that, or do I kind of go to something else? Do you come away from these videos enlightened, empowered, and impacted? Do you come away from being taught something, being equipped with something, and being impacted to want to do something? That's the message that I put out there. So it's all about messaging, y'all. It's all about messaging today. Think about the message that you're putting out there today. Are you conveying the right message? Are you sticking to your message? It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the Impact Builder. This is what we do. We think different on Thursday. We don't think like everybody else. Entrepreneurs, we don't think like everybody else. It's a requirement to not think like everybody else. I'm sorry, y'all. That it is what it is. So, appreciate y'all tuning in. We will talk to you all tomorrow. We will finish out this week. Protect your brand. protecting your brand. That's what it's all about. Hopefully these tools will give you some knowledge and information that you're able to use in order to be able to understand better how to protect your brand from this lens. So, the Impact Builder. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Have a great day.